Welcome back, everybody, to the Trade Waiters podcast, the comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel. You're Nathan. We're brothers. We read comics.
Yup. You know, I just realized
that we're brothers.
No, I've known that for a while.
Okay.
But like, we've been doing the podcast here well over 100 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've had to do it at like old apartments and stuff like that. I just realized how fucking big the trees outside of your house are. Like in your front yard.
The palm trees?
The palm trees, dude. They're like 100 feet tall.
Yeah, dude.
I was just looking at them today. I was like, holy shit, what if that falls on your house?
Not likely, dude. People got to trim that shit.
I know. And they do like the rope thing.
Yeah, super sketchy. I watch them every time.
What if they fall on
It's
you?
like windy and they're like, woo.
No way.
It's so sketchy.
Oh, dude. That's got to be so scary. I'm sure it's very safe and they figured it out, but it seems not great, right?
Sarah paid someone to trim them once, and it was like $180. I'm like,
that's it?
I'll do for $180,
dude. Yeah,
give me the money. I'm like, I'll figure it out.
That seems like not enough.
It might have been more
to risk your life,
because there's also some in the back, and they did those too. But if the wind blows a little bit, they just fall off. You know what I mean? So it's just all
they do.
Yeah, those big ass leaves, they get all
the leaves fall off.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the people. I was like, why are you so casual about this?
No. So yeah, they just fall off, and then I just throw them away. You know, so I'm like, this is what happen eventually. They just kind of make them look nice, you know, but no one looks up apparently.
Dude, I don't know if I ever knew that there was palm trees out there. I don't know. I've walked past them hundreds of times at this point.
Yeah, I don't really look at them very much either. I think I'm sure they were planted with the house in the 70s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so they probably looked really nice back then. You know,
I think they look nice.
They're probably in and out height back then. Ooh. But now they're 400 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And so, no, if it fell, that would suck.
That would suck.
Because
your house would not survive.
I used to do insurance claims for trees that fell on houses, and the coverage was not that great for it.
Really?
You got $500 just to get it off of your house.
Wow.
And then it was another charge to take it away, and then all the fucking damages on the house and shit.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, and so there's all kinds of limits for that.
Did you see pictures of trees that would have fallen on houses?
Yeah,
that seems interesting.
Definitely shit that has ruined your day. That ruins their day.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd be like,
that's a bad one.
I got some bad news for you.
Oh, no.
But anyway, we got time codes in our description. We got the book this week, Do a Powerbomb, Back Matter Matters, and the pull list. But we start with the news. Nathan,
yeah.
Do you know of a book called Captera?
Yes.
It was some book by Chip Zdarsky, I guess.
Yep.
Well, it's coming back.
It's Bactera.
Bactera with Keegan MacLeod.
MacLeod. I think it's MacLeod still.
It's McLeod. I think it's MacLeod if there's two C's.
Do we need the pronunciation person?
MacLeod.
I don't think it's MacLeod.
MacLeod.
I think it's MacLeod.
Is it spelled right?
Hold on. McLeod?
Yeah.
MacLeod.
Oh my God. All right.
MacLeod.
Yeah.
Back-to-back weeks of need pronunciation. So Keegan MacLeod, that'll be coming August 30th. So this episode might be out by that time.
It's coming in print?
Yep. They'll be coming back with 6 new issues.
Oh, okay. Because he's had it on a Substack, just Captera. So maybe it's just a...
Oh, he made it seem like it was a thing he did once, and then
it was a thing that he did once, and then it came back in a Substack. So...
Okay.
It might just be the
print of that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Nathan, speaking of Substack...
Who's in it?
Actually, no, sorry. Speaking of things that are...
Just say the news.
The fucking Kickstarter, you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Cosmic Detective, the Kickstarter that I backed.
Yeah.
Jeff Lemire.
You have it over there, right?
Yep. Still haven't read it. Matt Kint and...
Juan Ferreira?
No. Hold on. That colorist that was on Black Hammer. Or no, the artist as a...
artist? Paul Rubin?
Paul Rubin? Hold on. David Rubin.
David Rubin.
Yeah.
Paul Rubin is an actor.
So Cosmic Detective is coming out in print through Image and coming September 20th. So you too can get a copy of this book that I have already and have had for a couple months.
So we can finally read it, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm going to read it just so I feel exclusive for a little while.
Okay, good.
You know?
Did you get like a little print on the back too?
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's like a poster. It feels like it's folded. Anyway, pretty cool.
Very nice. That's good news.
That seems like obvious, right? Like with something like that, like a trade, might as well just publish it.
Yeah, just do it again. Use the same file.
Everything.
I don't know. I don't know how printing works, but
I wonder if they'll do like the gold edges.
Probably not.
Probably not.
That's cool to have it though. Daniel,
Nathan,
big Spider-Man news. You know that one? Do you know what Spider-Man Reign is?
Rain?
Yeah, the story arc, Spider-Man Reign.
No.
Well, Spider-Man Reign 2 is going to be coming out, and
good.
That's the Spider-Man story where he kills Mary Jane by having sex with her and she gets killed by radioactive sperm. It's coming back, I guess. I haven't read this. I'm sure it's
Spider-Man round 2.
I'm sure it's more than that, but that's like a big part that everybody like memes on. Like I'm familiar with that's the
so they're
thing.
bringing it back for the memes?
No, I think the story itself is supposed to be pretty good, but since Spider-Man sperms in Mary Jane and kills her with that radioactive sperm being a thing in that story, I think that's what people just equate that storyline to.
Her waking up next morning and just being dead, you gotta be so confused.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you definitely don't think oh, maybe my sperm is radioactive.
Yeah,
and
he was like, what
poisonous.
happened? Who did this?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's coming
It's
back.
like Sin City.
That's coming back. I don't know. That's the little cover thing for it, but there's definitely Mary Jane there.
Oh, okay.
She looks dead again.
I think I saw that, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah. So that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Speaking of two things,
Nice.
Groot season 2.
Yeah, I saw that.
I Am Groot coming September 6th.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can read another Groot book if you want.
Oh, we could. We couldn't decide what group book to do the first time. Now we get to do the other one now.
Yeah, there's a couple. We got options.
Okay.
And speaking of Marvel, the visual effects workers at Marvel are unionizing.
Seems ironic,
Yeah.
especially with the I'm Groot thing, but that's probably good because I've definitely heard of them being overworked.
Mm-hmm.
So makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Get the bag
Definitely.
or get what you deserve.
Rest.
Yeah, rest and no crunch. Some crazy news about Donny Cates.
Oh.
Apparently he hasn't been doing much in comics lately, and he's been quiet about it, and it's because he was in a super bad car accident and he broke a bone near his ocular area and went through severe period of rehabilitation and is now essentially trying to recover the pieces of his life so he doesn't remember the last at least 6 months.
Oh shit.
So it was apparently super brutal, and he doesn't remember some of his own stories. He says he's recovering. He knows enough about what's going on. And he said the good news is that I've had the opportunity to read my own books and have them all be a surprise. Did you know that Cosmic Ghost Rider is actually Frank Castle? Wild.
That's insane.
Isn't that bizarre? And so
that's always a thing that happens in Grey's Anatomy or whatever. But I'm like, does that really ever happen? But apparently it does.
Apparently it does. Yeah, he's had to relearn how to tie his own shoes and feed himself and all that stuff. So, but he says a little brain damage won't stop me from doing whatever it is that I do that you all seem to enjoy so much. And there's some pictures of just the aftermath of the accident with just some bruising and stuff on the eye. It's nothing too crazy, at least on the head.
Does it look crazy or not really?
It definitely doesn't look great, but not. It doesn't seem like, oh yeah, he's all messed up in the head with brain damage.
Oh shit!
It's a big black eye looking thing, but
yeah, and it's on his forehead.
So
and shit.
thankfully he's okay
alive.
and recovering and alive. But that's why apparently Ultimate Invasion was supposed to be his job.
Oh really?
And he was doing Vanish and stuff with Ryan Stegman, and that's been on halt for a little bit. And he was talking to Bleeding Cool about what's been going on. So that's fucking wild.
Yeah, I I've been seeing his stuff come out. I'm like, maybe he's just focusing on his Substack stuff.
That's what I had figured.
And so then they stopped doing like Stegman and His Amazing Friends and stuff like that. So it's been pretty quiet. So that's terrible to hear. But I'm glad he's okay.
It is awful to hear, but yeah, he's getting better in strides. So
it'd be crazy if like he just tried rewriting some of the stuff that he did, but without looking at it, and maybe he comes up with the same story or like completely different ones.
He just comes up with like, okay, what is Cosmic Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
And he comes up with the same Frank Castle turned into Ghost Rider turned into Herald of Galactus again.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Or maybe it's just...
And Thanos has a Hulk dog.
Yeah, he just has like a bunch of new ideas or something.
But, so we wish him speedy recovery. That was some crazy news.
Nathan, what did we read this week?
We read Do a Powerbomb! ! I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Created, written, and illustrated by Daniel Warren Johnson. Colors by Mike Spicer. And letters by Russ Wooten.
Russ Wooten.
He's getting in there.
The man.
This is the Eisner Award winner of Best Teen Publication, I believe. Yep. And this shit's awesome.
And this book is so choice.
It is so choice. I remember, like, I don't know why I fell off the book, but it's like, what, 7 issues, right?
You didn't buy it all?
I bought it all, but I like hadn't caught up on it for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's like I read the first 2 issues. I'm like, these are really fucking good. And then I just like...
And I was like, this is amazing.
I kept buying it and just like...
And I was like, I know I'm going to read it. I just
didn't prioritize it, I guess,
But well deserving of an Eisner.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's a book about wrestling.
It sure is.
Which he's very passionate about. Did you read this like little blurb before?
No, it's too many words.
Yeah, it was a lot of words, but it's basically Daniel Warren Johnson saying that he got into wrestling when he had a daughter that like wouldn't sleep regularly unless she was like being held. And so there was like a lot of sleepless nights where he was just like holding his daughter.
RKOing her.
Yeah, RKOing her. And just like watching whatever's on the TV.
Suplexing her just so she goes to sleep.
And then he found wrestling like that way and then like fell in love with it and stuff. So, but this book, very special to me because I was in the letters section of issue 2.
Oh, right.
And I said, like, I don't know much about wrestling, but I like your energy. So I'm going to keep reading. And then I didn't. but now we're reading it.
You can definitely tell that he has like the passion for it.
100%, dude. He makes me jazzed about like wrestling.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe I should watch more wrestling.
Dude, I know.
But what if it's not as good as this comic kind of thing,
Yeah, and there's been like wrestling comics before, but like WWE comics, and I was like, I could not give less of a shit about it, but because it's like this level of creator doing it, like a lot of that crazy energy in action really translates. So he's always been really good at that.
Definitely. What I really appreciate about this is like a lot of the fights are very linear and you can like he shows you like the whole thing. It's not like it's like a montage of a fight kind of thing.
Yeah.
And all the choreography like makes sense. Like people are looking the right direction when they're doing a flip or whatever. And sometimes with certain fight scenes that isn't the case, but everything like makes sense, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's a good move.
And I like how they name the moves, like sometimes as they're doing it.
Yeah.
But it'll be like some like crazy shit. And they're like, oh my God, it's King Arthur's table.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, oh shit. So, okay, this is something that's been done before.
Yeah. He definitely had a lot of naming to do here, like the different teams that are on this and then like their finishing moves and stuff.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And so tons of fun.
So let's get into it, Daniel.
All right.
So wrestler Lona Steelrose, sorry, that's not 3 names. It's Lona Steelrose, is having a championship wrestling match against Cobra Sun, who's looking to steal the title from Lona. And Yua's husband, her kid Lona, and Uncle Blood are there before she goes on stage. The husband has to leave for work while the uncle and Lona are in the crowd. So just right off the bat, pretty good job setting up and getting it going kind of deal. It's like, all right, we're right into this. Here's our main character, right? So the wrestling match starts, it goes in, and so they're just like fighting in the ring. And when Cobra Sun goes for his signature setting sun move, his foot slips on the rope, causing Yua to like break her neck, and she dies later that day. And so this is like the first fight scene. It's really important to like set the stage for like kind of what this book is going to be. And so like you said, like it's very linear. You kind of know what's happening like the entire time. You can like really visualize it, which I think is cool. But Dana Warren Johnson's really good at making like a really loud scene, but like still concise with what's going on.
Yeah.
Because there's like the first flip, right? Where he like flips off the stage and he's going for Yua. And you see the entire crowd like behind him, like it's angled up a little bit. So you see all the lights shining on him. And he looks so fucking high up in the air.
Yeah.
Which is like
a little exaggerated probably, but
like it's insane that this shit happens like in WWE as well. Like you've seen stuff where they like flip off the ropes and like they like land on the ground.
Yeah.
Like you're breaking like a couple ribs or something if you don't do this precisely.
These are like insane athletes of like
100%
precision and stamina. Like some of the shit that's in here, I'm like, that would suck if that was like your job.
Yeah.
You know?
Like unbelievable athletes paired with like some like improv and like some acting and like some storytelling and stuff. So I understand like why people fuck with it so hard. You know?
I just kept thinking about like, so in this flip, you was like in the crowd.
Yeah.
And so like he lands and like gets hurt and like a couple bystanders or whatever.
Like
and
right
I just kept thinking about like the insurance at like these events.
You can't be doing that.
It's like, do you have
Those
to sign a waiver
too.
or something? Yeah.
Oh, maybe if you're in the front
Like,
row, it's like you might get a 400-pound dude on you.
Yeah, but that's your fault. You wanted to be here.
Yeah.
You bought the tickets. We waive liability or whatever.
I doubt anybody would even care if they got jumped on by like, you know, some wrestler.
Yeah, the Undertaker broke my arm.
You think I'm going to sue if Rey Mysterio fucking kicks me in the face by accident?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Ask him to do it again.
I'd ask him to sign the tooth that came out of my mouth, you know? Yeah, so the flip off stage is super good. There's a lot of flips that happen in this book, and every single one makes me so excited.
I love all of them.
And he's really good at lettering too, because when he's building up to these big moments, like the lettering is like, whoa, like from the crowd. And so there's a lot to digest there. But
I love what he does in like the backgrounds where like there's obviously the fighting in the foreground.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, he just makes it like really work. I guess it's more like representing like the lights and stuff that are on them. It's just like none of this feels like negative space, you know? And he definitely captures like the energy of like a crowd at one of these things.
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple pages which I'll point out, but yeah, they do that really well. And then Mike Spicer with his coloring, like there's a lot on this page, and it's very easy to like understand what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
Like if especially with some of the crowd scenes, like if that wasn't like colored correctly, it would just be like way too much to like really digest. And they nailed that balance. So we jump ahead 10 years. Lona, the child, is now wrestling, trying to go pro, but no one is willing to train her, not even Uncle Blood, because Lona's dad made him promise not to train her because of what happened to Yua. And Lona and her dad have like a falling out, and Lona meets Willard Necroton, who's a necromancer putting on a mystical wrestling tournament with the prize of resurrecting her mom potentially if she wins. And that's pretty much the first issue. I love Necroton's design. I like how he's got Liberty spikes.
Hell yeah.
That's
dude.
a very wrestling thing to like have, you know?
Absolutely. Very Guitar Hero 2 thing to have.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just love the idea of like Mortal Kombat, but like wrestling as a concept.
Sure.
Because it's like an ultimate tournament type deal. And I think it's great.
What's her name? Lona?
Lona.
Yeah, Lona has like a really cool room. I don't know if you saw that. There's like a flashback to when she was a kid and she's talking to her like her mom just before she's about to go to bed. And it's just like, it's like kind of like a fisheye lens kind of look as far as like how it's portrayed in this panel. And it just looks like a normal room. And I'm like, this is a cool room.
Yeah, the perspective is cool.
She's got like a little, one of those little shelves for like figures.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. There's a Murder Falcon poster.
Hell yeah.
And I think a Murder Falcon figurine on that top shelf.
Probably. Oh yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I love when he plugs his own shit, but like in the most subtle ways. Yeah. There's a crowd scene where Murder Falcon's in the crowd. I don't know if you saw that.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's awesome. He's just like sitting there looking. But yeah, that's issue 1. So issue 2, Necroton explains that after like a mystical war he started on a planet called Valthar, he was exiled to an island. And while he was exiled, Necroton found television and he fell in love with pro wrestling. So he's putting on a tournament with the prize of bringing a person back to life, pretty much. And it's going to include people from multiple different dimensions and stuff. And he offers the tournament to Lona, and she has a day to decide if she wants to join, and she has to find a tag team partner because it's a tag team wrestling match. One of the bits in this is that Necroton has no idea that wrestling is scripted, like on Earth. And so Lona's like, well, who's going to win? And he's like, I don't know. The tournament hasn't happened.
That's the best part.
Yeah, I know. And so she says that like wrestling's scripted, and then he like laughs as if it's a joke. So this is like for real. Like people are going to be fighting. Yeah. It's very funny to me. So Lona goes to see a Cobra Sun match, and he's still clearly pretty guilty about Steelrose.
He's doing these like really like, I don't know, dirty kind of matches that are on these like low level kind of stages and whatnot, to where it's like weapons are involved.
Yeah, there's a bunch of props.
A lot of props.
And one is a folding chair wrapped in barbed wire.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That is so metal.
I think I just like the like those like really long light bulbs, because like, do you not know what I mean?
Really long light bulbs.
Yeah, the light.
Is it on a certain page?
Yeah, so at the bottom of page 45, where like the dude grabs them under there.
Oh yeah.
The ones that are in like classrooms.
Oh, like the fluorescent like long
tubes
long
or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because like when they hit that people with that, I can like hear it like shatter. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen one of those shatter?
Yeah, every day.
Okay. Yeah, that he has a fork in him as well.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like,
that would have hurt.
I'm like, maybe nothing stabby, but yeah, that's crazy.
So Lona convinces Cobra Sun to join after learning that he was also approached by Necroton. And Lona calls her dad to say like final goodbyes. Mm-hmm. Doesn't really specify what she's going to be doing or whatever. But then we see that Lona's dad is wearing the Cobra Sun costume, revealing that Lona's dad accidentally killed Lona's mom.
Yeah.
And they were married. Mm-hmm. Probably the biggest twist in comics, Daniel.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this and I was like, oh no. No wonder he's so guilty.
I almost threw my book.
I know. I was like, what? How could this be?
I was like, no way.
It was actually such a good reveal. Like definitely something I was not expecting, because he sets up like, oh, dad's going to work. You know, he like wasn't there.
Yeah. Because what we've experienced in some comics is like Nacho series, where it just has a really good start and then just dies down
all the good stuff's in the beginning, and then you're like, oh wow,
what a 1-2 punch to have, like just like a really touching first issue and then a huge twist in the second one.
Yeah,
he's getting this started.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So this didn't make sense to me, because his dad, he's got this sleeper build under his like work clothes, because he's fucking huge as Cobra Sun.
He's wearing baggy clothes, Daniel.
I don't think so.
He's wearing his pump cover.
Yeah, he's got his pump covers nailed down.
Yeah. Well, like it's also a pretty good disguise, because his mask apparently has like a wig built in. So I think he has these like crazy long like black hair.
It's like Batwoman.
Yeah, but he normally has like a buzzed blonde hair, you know, so it's interesting. But yeah, super great reveal, because it means that his like fuck up killed his wife and, you know, took Lona's mom away. So that's crazy. And he's still wrestling.
I think I bought the first issue just kind of like skeptical, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, all right, I'll check it out. Daniel Warren Johnson. He's had some bangers.
Love that guy.
You know, yeah. I'm really into wrestling. And I buy it. I'm like, all right, this is pretty good, pretty touching. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, I'll just get the next one. If I don't care for it, I'll just drop it. Yeah. And then that was dropped on us. I'm like, fuck, I gotta finish it now.
God, I gotta like keep buying this shit.
Yeah.
It's really good. So in issue 3, there's some origin on why Lona's dad didn't tell her that he was Cobra Sun, which is basically that he didn't want to seem like a villain while Lona was like super young, because it would be kind of hard to understand as a child, like, I'm a wrestler but I'm the villain, you know. And so they just like hadn't told her yet. But then he kills her mom, and it's like, well shit, how am I supposed to come forward now? And then in the present, Lona and Cobra Sun cross over into the Death Life dimension, and they register as Sun and Steel.
Good name.
Good name, yeah.
Yeah. going back to like the last issue, when she like approaches Cobra-san about the tournament, I'm just really glad he knew about it already.
Yeah.
Because I was really getting prepared to her just explain the situation,
Like,
and hopefully
okay.
he understands.
Yeah, it was really smart for him to be offered.
And
And
like,
like,
Necro talk to you? It's like, I'm like, oh, thank God.
and like in hindsight, Necroton would have talked to him because he knows obviously that they were like married.
Yeah.
And it's just like Lona doesn't know. So it makes sense as well that like Necroton would have talked to him as well. But yeah,
You think Necroton knew that?
Cobra-san and you were married?
Why would he know that?
I don't know.
That wasn't on TV, Nathan.
It wasn't on TV, I guess. He must have known though. I don't know. Some like he's a necromancer. He's got some magic.
He's probably just talking to like all the pros that he knew, as he was watching.
Sure. Yeah,
So-
that's true.
Anyway, pretty cool place.
Yeah, pretty cool play. I like
it's
how
basically just hell.
yeah. I like how many panels Dana Warren Johnson puts on a page, like the scene where like Cobra-san is talking to Uncle Blood, because there's like kind of a lot to cover and like not a whole lot of pages to do it. And he like makes a page that has like 10 panels on it, but it doesn't feel like a 10 panel kind of page,
Yeah.
There's just like a lot of supplementary stuff, and he still finds room for like silent panels. So like there's this one where Uncle Blood like
Takes a shot.
and that's like a beat, So he's
pause in
pretty
your
good at
head.
that. So he's pretty good at like cramming some of the more dialogue heavy stuff into just a couple pages and then leaving room for some of the spectacular stuff. But anyway, Sun and Steel both go for a drink at the bar, and they meet some of the other contestants, including FISO, which stands for Fuck Your Stupid Opinions.
Uh-huh.
Good name. And they see Orangabang, which is a primate wrestling team. Or
Yeah.
an orangutan, right? That's what they are. Are they both orangutans?
Yeah.
They're
one's
clearly, like-
one's like the big poppy one.
Yeah. One's like the Jungle Book one,
Yeah.
and then another one is like a normal orangutan. I don't know what the
Probably
difference
just,
are
like,
between them, but
because like that's like his son, I think.
yeah.
And so I think when they're younger, they just look like
Do
that.
all orangutans get big ass faces like that
I think.
eventually? Wow. Anyway, killer name, Orangabang. Are you fucking kidding me?
Other good name. The Broken Blade Ale House is the bar that they're in.
That sounds like a beer.
Good name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Broken Blade. Dibs. Gotta do it.
Oh wait, that's the bar that they're at?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude. Daniel Warren Johnson should have like a signature beer now.
He should. That would be so good.
And then he does the artwork for the can. Be sick.
Dude. He does like doing stuff for his comics, because like when Murder Falcon came out, he like released like just a instrumental metal album,
Yeah.
or like at least a couple songs, not like a whole album, I don't think, but
Right.
so he's pretty good at all that. Anyway, all of the wrestling teams are introduced by Necroton, and we find out that they all fight for real in their dimensions. So this is Sun and Steel is the only team whose dimension wrestles scripted,
Yeah.
which
Everyone
is funny.
keeps asking me, like, is wrestling in your world really scripted? They're like, no.
No, it's like super real. So I love this double page spread of like all the wrestling like teams and like the bracket and stuff.
Yeah, Nathan, what team do you want to win? And why is it the Lucha Bots?
Lucha Bots is cool, and we don't really see them that much.
No, we don't even see their fight, dude.
Yeah. I also like Pizza Party. I don't really know what they're about, but I think that's fun.
Yeah, one's like a raccoon.
Their finishing move is the New York Slice.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Yeah. The fucking Orangabang finishing move is Attenborough's Cradle.
What does that mean?
David Attenborough is the guy that like narrates all the Planet Earth, like
Oh, nice.
which
Deep
I think.
cut.
So like, I guess there's David Attenborough in this Orangabang
The
dimension.
King Arthur's table is, I think, like the coolest just because it looks like a table when they do it,
Yeah.
and it like just fits with that team.
with those people with that theme.
The Devil Doers looks kind of cool too.
Like
They look like they're part of Slipknot.
yeah, they do. I like the font of the Knights of Rhine though. It looks like very
Nah.
very nice. So
But then the bracket's cool. That's appreciated.
mhm.
Just to back at that bar, FISO's like mad at a puppy because a puppy pisses on one of their shoes,
yeah.
and there's like a panel. It's like puppy punch when
Oh,
he's about to go punch a puppy.
And the puppy's so happy. Like does not even I actually
And then like Lona has to like stop them, and that's how the bar fight starts.
yeah.
And I was just like, what's about to happen to this dog?
Yeah, is the dog gonna die?
Don't ruin it. You're doing so good.
You're starting off strong.
Yeah.
So I have a dog named Kilala. and she does not flinch whenever I like
You try and punch
fake
her?
punching her in like the face, and I try and get really close to. I've never like hit her, like I wouldn't get that. I would never hit my dog, but she like never flinches at me, which is
Because she trusts you so much.
she trusts me so much, and she's like, I don't know what this guy's doing. And then every single time I do it and she doesn't flinch, I'm like, one of these days someone's gonna punch you in the face,
And you're not going to see it
and
coming.
you're not gonna see it coming. You're gonna you're not even gonna be prepared. But yeah, so the dog, it was a good way for us to get introduced to this team and know that they're like a little unhinged. So I like that there was a bar fight.
Mm-hmm.
So Sun and Steel start their first match against Orangabang, which starts off pretty brutal since they aren't used to real combat. Lona's tagged in and has to save Cobra-san, and she manages to get the win. And then we see the next competition of the Knights of Rhine compete, and they win against Pizza Party. Why is Daniel Warren Johnson so good at drawing orangutans? Because
I think
there's
he's
a lot
really,
of there's a
really
lot
got-
of action shots here. You know, they're huge. There's emotion there.
There's a lot of things to reference.
Is there like Planet of the Apes? I guess.
Just Google.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, we see their whole backstory. You know, we know
Yeah.
what they're trying, like why they're in this tournament and stuff. So it's interesting. I love this page where Lona goes for the flip. It's another flip page, and again, you see like the entire background audience is all like completely in awe, and you see like he fully draws like everyone, which
Yeah.
I think is really impressive. Like he kind of makes just like a generic sort of different design for everybody, and I think he put himself in here. I think Dana Warren Johnson's like in the corner here. That's kind of what it looks like.
Probably.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun. But also, he's really good at these kinds of pages because he has like a foreground, a midground, and like a background. And the foreground is like people like super excited. They have like their fists in the air and they're like, oh my God, she's going for a flip or whatever. And I think that really adds to the energy. Have you seen that Love and Rockets cover? Where it's like the girl like on stage and she's like rocking out and there's like a bunch of people in the background and they have their shit up. It just kind of reminds me of like that energy. Have you seen that cover?
Maybe.
Oh. It's
cool.
It's like a metal show kind of deal. Anyway, it has like similar energy as that for me because there's like a lot of storytelling going on there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll screenshot that and send it to you.
What was that pizza team called?
Pizza Party?
Yeah, Pizza Party. There's like this like Batman, but with like a cheese and pepperoni looking like cow on cape. And then
Yep.
there's Racket the raccoon, who's also on this team.
Yep.
I thought that was funny.
That's yep. Not a reference to anything, I'm sure.
No.
I think coming up with the names for like the moves probably has to be the funnest part. And I wonder if he comes up with the team gimmick first and then the names,
Probably easier.
or is he like
Like let's do like a pizza team.
Pizza Party? And it's like, okay, what do they look like? It would just I'm interested in like the process for like all of that. Like I'm sure
It's
he
not
got
like he draws the Knights of Rhyme or whatever, and then he's like,
that's what their name is, you know.
then I'm like, oh, you know what? This guy looks like a knight. This other guy looks like a jester or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be medieval, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we see King Arthur's table happen to Pizza Party, and which basically is a suplex into landing on somebody's like knees that's already on the ground and it like breaks their teeth and shit. It looks so crazy.
Yeah.
He's really good at like these wrestling moves. So that was issue 3. Issue 4, we get the origin of the Knights of Rhine, which is the next team that Sun and Steel are going to go up against. And basically their people are at war against Necroton, and they want to resurrect their greatest warrior so that they can have a chance of winning like in that war. And so they want to win the wrestling tournament to resurrect their person. So we get like a montage of the Knights of Rhine like training, and then we also get a montage of Sun and Steel training, which I think is super fun. And I love these montages.
Yeah, these are great.
I especially like how the Sun and Steel montage says another montage on the top.
Yeah.
Which I think is so good.
Yeah, because they got to really work on like working together rather than being so like individual, because they barely got past that last one.
Yeah, and they also have to like prepare for a real combat as well. So they got to train for that.
Yeah.
So Sun and Steel start their match. Lona is getting her shit rocked and is even hit with the King Arthur's table finishing move. So Lona's like barely able to tag Cobra-san in, but he's able to clean up, and he sets up the finishing moves for them to win the match. You know, the finishing moves, super fun. I think is that like part of the tournament that they have to do that to win, or is that just like their signature
No,
thing?
you just gotta pin them.
But I think like just all this wrestling action.
It's not like a fatality, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I think all of this wrestling action is really unique and like not something that we're used to seeing in comics, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these wrestling moves you don't see in like a Spider-Man book, you know?
Right.
So like all the suplexes and all the like doing flips and stuff to like land on other people, I think is like super unique.
And I think with his like style and just the fact that it's wrestling in general,
Mm-hmm.
it's enhanced by like all the lettering that's in this,
The lettering plays a huge part.
because it's like everywhere and it just adds to the energy and like how chaotic it is.
Yeah, it adds to like the noise from like the crowd that like you visualize.
What's really good with his like visual storytelling is that he'll draw like the move being set up like in the air or whatever whenever they're doing something like that,
Mhm.
and then like the devastation of it right under it, and like
Yeah.
you can see like the pain and like how like intense just the fall is in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's really good at that. Like when, like in this page, Cobra Sun's doing like a suplex, and it's a very natural path for you to see that, and then immediately go to the next panel, which is him slamming him into the ground and doing this like back bend thing, which looks so good.
Yeah, I think the suplex is the most satisfying thing for me to see them do.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, he's got him now.
Visually, it's so sick.
Yeah.
Right. Because you see like the peak of the suplex and then the finishing of it, and like it's so easy for your mind to like fill in the space in between with your imagination. It's so good.
Yeah, because
So he's really nailed this.
that's what some people can kind of fall short on when it comes to fights, is just like jumping from like one spot to another, but not really being able to like fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
But with this, it feels like you're seeing most of the motion,
Yeah.
and so it's really easy to piece together.
Yeah, so he does like the suplex, and then we immediately see like Lona get on like the ropes, and then like the next page she's like up in the air and then like slams on him, and then like after she's like done slamming on him, Cobra Sun goes for like this flip thing into the other person to knock her off stage. Like it's all very easy to see like what each person's doing and what each person has going on.
I was really expecting him to like tackle her, but he really just does like a front flip and then like pushes her with like his back off of the
Yeah, which seems smart in hindsight, because like when you land, you're landing on that person and on your back. Like your arms aren't hitting the ground.
That might be better
with, like
than
a tackle. Like if you tackle her off and you land on the ground, your elbows are hitting. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel very nice.
Did you see that video I sent you of like those kids at like a trampoline park,
Yeah.
and they're doing all the wrestling moves?
Dude, isn't it
I'm like,
super impressive?
I want to do this so bad.
It
Like,
looks so fun.
it wouldn't be nearly as impressive when we did it. We'd probably hurt ourselves.
It would hurt so bad.
But especially like in this with like the ring, they have like the floor of the ring that
Mhm.
kind of makes it sound louder when someone hits it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like padded or anything. It still fucking sucks to like land on.
It would hurt to land on for sure.
And a lot of these wrestlers that have like these like basically just like injuries for like the rest of their lives, or be like a little bit fucked up, you know,
Yeah.
because of all
For the
just
story.
falling. Yeah, it's like being hit by a car like
Yeah,
every
pretty
day.
much. Yeah, crazy. And just like practicing some of these moves, like surely they would have to practice it in some way. Like imagine like how much you'd get hurt just like preparing for some of these big moves.
You think they practice in a trampoline
I think
park?
they must, right? Like doing a flip. I saw a move like just this last week where someone does a backflip onto somebody's shoulder, and they like pick him up, pretty much like they catch him on their shoulder, and then like flips backwards to like do a counter.
Okay.
And it was insane because it's like probably like a 200-pound person
Mm-hmm.
at least.
Backflipping onto a 300-pound person.
Backflipping onto somebody's shoulder, and then they have to make it look so fluid as like a counter
Yeah.
and then like throw them off. It was like unbelievable. And I'm like, I can't like squat like 180, you know? So it's like,
yeah, when I didn't know that like the WWE was like scripted, whenever I saw like the people about to get their shit rocked, like just kind of go with it, you know, when they're like pulling them around or whatever, getting them ready.
yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? Just get out of it, you know, like push them away.
Wrestling.
This made me want to play like SmackDown versus Raw or
Dude,
something.
such a good game, right?
Legendary game.
And I'm like, this is real. Yeah. just like a cage match and shit.
Yeah,
one of those
dude.
cage matches. So anyway, the next match is against FISO, it's FISO against Puropack. And one of the Puropack members is revealed to be Uncle Blood, who is also in this tournament trying to resurrect Lona Steelrose.
When he took off his like
Devil mask
or whatever, I was like, is that the same guy from FISO? Is he like a clone? I don't know. I did not recognize him without like his clothes on.
Yeah.
And this team, whether the Puropack or
Puropack, yeah,
they look like they're from like Mortal Kombat. They look like Lizard and like Scorpion.
do, yeah,
like the little like shoulder tunic thing.
I was trying to figure out what their theme was. I was like, this is a little weak.
Just like Japanese like
wrestling, I think,
masks and shit. Yeah,
but yeah, you thought the reveals were done? Nah,
no, more reveals. So. Tons of reveals.
Another family member
till the very end.
Yeah. So Puropack gets absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, because FISO's playing dirty, Nathan.
FISO plays dirty. Yeah, they lose the match, but FISO keeps fighting, causing Sun and Steel to like try and step in to save Uncle Brood, who's like getting choked out even after the match is done. And Uncle Blood barely survives, like getting his neck broken.
Yeah, because while he was in that headlock, the other dude in FISO does this like guillotine kick thing on his neck,
straight onto his neck,
and I was like, what the fuck?
Isn't that crazy?
Because FISO started the match without the ring, the ding, or the bell even going off.
Yeah
I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And so like, this is a really good way for us to get us to not really like this team, because all we've seen from them is them trying to kill a puppy and Uncle Blood and kill Uncle Blood. So pretty shitty.
He broke his neck, but he's gonna like be okay.
Yeah, he'll be fine. So that's good.
This is the last we hear of him. Like, we don't see.
I was like, if he dies, who are they going to resurrect? But I guess
that would have been an interesting plot.
Yeah,
probably still be Mom though.
I thought, because initially I thought each person would get a resurrection. Mm-hmm. He makes it very clear in the beginning, like when they're going into the tournament, when Cobra-san or Lona's like, let me make it clear, like we are saving my mom with our one resurrection. Yeah, but it would be interesting if. It's interesting that the two people have to decide like who they're going to resurrect, But anyway, this issue ends with Cobra-san gearing up, and he looks so sick because he's got the barbed wire folding chair and a barbed wire bat, and he's like, "We're going to fucking fight this FISO team."
And the light bulbs.
And the light bulbs, yeah, the fluorescent light bulbs.
Don't forget the light bulbs.
I didn't even notice that.
Really? I was like, that'd be terrible. It's glass, dude.
What else does he have on his back?
There's fumes in those, probably.
There are probably toxic fumes in there.
Yeah, there's long-lasting effects of those being smashed in your head.
It's like both physically and for the environment, because they're really bad for the environment, I think.
Dude, it's crazy that there's like a Lucille crossover.
Huh?
From The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah. So, issue 5.
It's kind of crazy that we're already at the finale, because this is like the final match in the
final match, and there's 3 issues to go.
Yeah, I'm like this is number 5. This is soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, other thing, real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it.
And the end of the last issue, like when his neck is like broken. Yeah, there's like these paramedics that come out. I'm like, what? I just did not expect Necro to be like that prepared.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want him to get hurt
and have.
It's all good fun.
And have paramedics in like hell basically for any situation.
He does have some medical staff, which is interesting.
And he's like, I picked the best people in the universe. I'm like, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, he cares about the people's health, I guess.
Yeah,
good guy. So issue 5.
Does he have those like rave sunglasses that are from like 2010?
Yeah, like what Kanye used to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
That's hilarious.
He has such a funny design.
I always thought those were cool.
Because he also has like a coat thing that has like spikes, like it's like a Batman cape or something.
Yeah, dude, it's got Flashpoint Batman coat.
He's got Flashpoint Batman coat mixed with a trench coat. Like a
pretty hard.
It's awesome.
Anyway, issue 5.
Issue 5. Cobra-san convinces Necroton to do their match against FISO, but make it a death match. And he pitches it like, oh, it'll increase the drama and it'll be like a really good final match because someone's going to die. And so he goes with it because he's like, that is good drama. So the match starts and there are no rules. about out of bounds either. So while Cobra-san fights in the ring, Lona surprises the other FISO member outside of the ring and like pulls him off.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. I like the move to like take their grab by the ankles and push them out, and then like their chin hits the ring. Oof. But
I'd rather get RKO'd than have that.
Yeah, 100%.
Before this, at the beginning of this issue, they have like they showed like the motivations of like FISO. You know, because it's like
why are they here?
Yeah, it was like I guess they met in like a hospital or something, and I think her name was like Maggie, the girl on FISO, who like just lost her like son or something.
Yeah.
And so like I was like, I don't like these people. Why are you trying to make me like feel for them?
I guess you need to know like why they're there. Because like of every team,
everyone's there for something.
Every team that we saw, like Orangutan's trying to save like
their mom.
Family member. Is it a mom? Some family member. It's
a father and son team. And I guess lost their mom.
And then Knights of Ryan were trying to save like a big warrior. So they were trying to do it like for their civilization of people. Yeah. So it kind of makes sense that like he would do that for this team as well. Dana Warren Johnson's really good at like
everything.
He is really good at everything, honestly. But he does like this thing that's very recognizable in his art with like quick movements where the outline of people is all like scribbly. Yeah. When they're like moving really fast. And there's this panel where like the dude on FISO is like diving at Lona and he's all scribbly. And I think it's so funny.
It reminds me of like Kevin Eastman's like normal drawings.
Yeah. Or it's like, I think they do this a lot in like anime too, where there's like a panel or where there's like a
fast guy.
Frame. Oh yeah. Like a frame, like mid kick, you know, from the start of the kick to the end of the kick, there's like just shit in between. And it's just like very loose. So the way that Dana Warren Johnson does it in comics is really good. So the fight escalates. There's barbed wire bats. There's ladders. And straight up like thumbtacks on the floor that Cobra-san is like dragged through.
That's tough.
It is tough. Like seeing that, like the setup for that, where he like opens like the little bag, there's thumbtacks on it. He like sprinkles them pretty much all over Cobra-san and then like flips him over onto his stomach to drag him through. It is like, it's amazing.
They pull a Buffalo Bills fan move where Lona's on top of this ladder and then Cobra-san's like holding one of the FISO dudes on this like wooden table. Yeah. And then Lona jumps off of it and crushes the wooden table and the dude in FISO.
I love that there's a table, like a table crush in here.
Yeah. They crush in all kinds of things, but the table just adds to it.
Yeah. It's so fun. Like so much creative action. And like there's a suplex onto like the foldable chairs, but they're like set up. And so he like suplexes his back onto like the top of those foldable chairs. And like pretty much it looks like he breaks his back. Yeah, which is wild.
That man should be dead from that move.
He should. And then just like the nails on the ground is crazy, or the thumbtacks is crazy. So, but Sun and Steel are about to work their finishing move, which is, do you remember what it's called?
The setting sun or something?
The sword and setting. So yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah.
And Cobra-san gets his mask ripped off and is revealed to be Lona's dad to Lona, which distracts her. And then she kind of gets sucker punched while she's distracted. And then Lona gets pinned and they lose the finals match. But the members of FISO start to like square up against each other because they decided beforehand that if they win this tournament, they're just going to fight each other, and whoever survives that gets the resurrection.
They're going to fight to the death.
They're going to fight to the death to get the prize, which I think is pretty fun. Yeah. It's like a good little twist there.
We don't like FISO, but this is a really cool fucking like splash page kind of thing. Yeah. Where it's like with a training montage in the back.
It's just
a super hard pose, you know?
They're just like working out with super heavy weight.
Yeah.
And shit. Yeah. Super fun.
I mean, she's like squatting like 225, but they make the plates look like super wide.
I think those are like 100-pound plates. I don't know.
That'd be nuts.
That would be nuts. So yeah, that was issue 5. So issue 6, we see like how Yua, Steelrose, and Cobra-san meet, which is when Cobra-san is wrestling and Yua is like scouting for a partner in the crowd. Mm-hmm. And there's a really cool splash page of Cobra-san like flipping onto his opponent who's like on just like the ground, not even in the ring. And he's like so high up in the air.
Yeah.
Like if this is scripted, this is like, if you fuck this up in any way, you're dead.
Probably.
which is wild. But like, imagine just like having this page.
That'd be cool. I was looking at his prints, or not his prints, but like his
pages.
his pages yesterday.
Are they up there?
Yeah, like $500, you know.
Okay.
But like I think all the good ones were taken, you know, because those would probably go for like some money. You know?
Definitely.
And then I looked at like Ryan Otley's on like Felix, you know, Felix Comic Art, and he had like some cover or something for Hulk, and he put it up for like 20,000.
Yeah, I mean, someone will get it.
I was like, come on.
I think someone will get it, dude.
I was like, whoa.
There's some rich nerds out there.
Yeah, that's true.
God, I wish I was a rich nerd. I would buy so many pages.
I almost bought a Nick Darrington like Doom Patrol page, but like there weren't any like good ones. You know?
Yeah,
it's all like talking pages and stuff.
Yeah, because you want like an action page, but they know that people want the action page.
I just want fucking Robot Man on one of them. You know?
There's some artists where I'm like, I would just get any page. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
You know, but
then you look at him, you're like,
nah,
hey, don't want to spend $100 on this.
Yeah. So in the present, FISO is still fighting each other while Cobra Sun is with Lona. Lona's getting wheeled out of the match. And then the FISO members end up killing each other, which means that Sun and Steel are the new champions by default.
Yeah.
So, she bashes
that dude's his head in with like the victory belt while he was like choking her out with like barbed wire.
It is brutal.
Absolutely brutal.
Like, oh, just like this. It's crazy to choke someone out with barbed wire.
Yeah.
Like that would hurt way more than like, I don't know. I mean,
just getting it off the bat would hurt a shit ton.
Yeah, 100%. And he has like wrapped around her neck multiple times.
And then pulling.
And then, and it was like pulling or like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So they go to the resurrection chamber. Lona talks to her dad about like being honest going forward or whatever. And then he like explains why he didn't tell her. Turns out Necroton doesn't have enough power to resurrect like he initially thought. He's been like cut off from his power since like the war, and he was exiled on the island. He was like, I was pretty sure I had enough, but turns out I don't. But he does know someone that can make it happen as long as Sun and Steel can fight him in a 2-on-1 match. So he takes him to Heaven's Gate to wrestle God himself. Insanity.
This was the most insane turn of events.
They got scammed, dude.
I was like, are you shitting me?
I love that Heaven's Gate is like a wrestling, like a wrestling ring.
Yeah. He's like, you're going to fight the biggest wrestling fan of all.
And God, who's absolutely yoked, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't he be?
Which is fun. He's got like this interesting mask. This double page spread where you see God and everybody's chanting God. This is where Murder Falcon is. He's like right next to the ref. He's like right here. You can kind of see him in between like the two ropes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty fun. I always try and see like who they put in here. I think there was one other person that I recognize, but I can't remember where. But yeah. So they got to fight God.
This is a very like Luther Strode design.
Yeah,
you know, with how like absolutely gigantic this dude is.
Like just unbelievably gigantic. So final issue. The match starts. Lona is first to take on God, and she's immediately thrown out of the ring. So Cobra Sun steps in, and they like try and double team him.
They also get new costumes, which is cool.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if that was like new costume. I mean, for Cobra Sun, it definitely is. But isn't that like similar to what Lona initially had? Or no, is this
she was
just
wearing
completely
like,
new?
Just look at the cover right before this.
Oh, yeah. It was like super orange, wasn't it?
Yeah, and his was like teal.
Okay, yeah. So this is a cool new design. He looks so buff in this.
Huge. Yeah, I'm like
how do you not recognize your dad?
Yeah, I know. He's wide as hell, dude.
Do you think he puts on like a different voice for Cobra Sun? He must, right? That's why I like.
Yeah, it's like a Batman voice.
Yeah, he's got to do like his Batman voice.
Yeah.
No, my name's Cobra Sun.
Rachel.
You no. So they start to double team God. They manage. they managed to finally do their finisher for the first time, the Sword Sunrise on God, but he still breaks out of the countdown. But there's a big reveal that they made God bleed. So it's just bizarre to see like the body positioning of God after some of these like suplex moves or like finishing moves because of how big he is. It's really funny to like think of him getting smashed into the ground like this and like his body is completely like upside down.
Yeah.
And it's also funny how much Dana Warren Johnson tries to hype up the fact that they made God bleed, because there's like a whole double page spread committed to Necroton being like, oh my God, they made him bleed.
Yeah.
You know? So that's a big deal. God snaps back, suplexing both of them at one time. And he does his finisher, the Pillars of Golgotha. And God ends up winning the match. So they don't get Lona's mom back, but God is like, you guys are pretty good at wrestling. So he unlocks a memory of Yua for them, which is Yua explaining how wrestling is kind of like life. They know the end is predetermined, but the exciting thing is the story that's built like along the way.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It's a good little metaphor there.
And they also get God belts.
They get pretty cool belts, which is nice. And then we also see that Lona Steelrose was watching the whole time in the crowd. And then the book ends.
You think they'd be able to like go over there for like a couple minutes?
Yeah,
or
be like, oh
but-
my God, his mom.
Yeah.
So does that mean that Murder Falcon's dead? Or like, is this like heaven? Like these are all dead people?
Did you finish Murder Falcon?
Yeah.
Did he die?
I can't remember. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But
the dude from Murder Falcon's right here.
Nice.
The guy playing the bass or the guitar or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But it's funny how they got like absolutely scammed with this ending, right? Because they won the tournament technically, and they were supposed to get Yua back. And then he's like, I can't do that, but you can fight God and try. And then they just get absolutely wrecked by God. But I do like the message at the end. So pretty nice.
I don't know a lot of wrestling moves, you know? Like I guess I knew suplex, but like I was kind of reminded what that was in this. The only one I really knew was like the RKO because of like memes and stuff. And they don't really do that.
What does it stand for? I know TKO is like total knockout, but
no, RKO is like it's like some dude specifically, the way he does it. I think the R stands for something.
Okay.
Randy Keith Orton.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a knockout thing.
No, it was his signature move.
Gotcha.
They also call it Randy's knockout.
Cool.
And so I was like kind of looking for one, you know, throughout this book, and you don't get it until Lona does it to God, which was very satisfying.
Is it the one where she like jumps and then grabs his head and slams him down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one here.
So good.
I was like, oh, thank God.
they pulled through at the end.
Lona.
Yeah. It's fun visually to just like think about how God just got absolutely like flipped here, like this 300-pound person.
Yeah, and I like that he wasn't like super OP. Like he's obviously like the better fighter and was able to do like beat them 2-on-1. But it wasn't like he just like
wrecked him,
vanished them every time they got near him or something. But
so, let's go into Back Matter Matters.
Back Matter Matters.
So it's mainly covers. We get some from James Herron, which I enjoy quite a bit. He's a very brutal looking artist, so that's cool.
This seemed a little tame for him, but
it is a bit tame for him, but
good.
It still has like some of the intensity, I think.
Yeah.
You probably like this cover because it's got a lot of
so many light bulbs.
So many
Can't believe
light bulbs.
I missed this one.
There's a fun anime looking one by Jake Smith.
That one's cool.
Yeah. Tyrell Cannon and Mike Spicer do one. Matthias Bergera.
I have that one.
One of my... Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think I might have that one too.
I also have the next two.
There's a Spawn one, and we see like a Spawn of like a fucking Spawn wrestling outfit.
Yeah.
You know, he has Wanda tattooed on his chest.
Oh, yeah. Because like the other dude in FISO had like Matilda on his chest.
That makes sense. It's just fun to think that like he tattooed Wanda on his chest.
Isn't Spawn black?
Huh?
Isn't Spawn black?
He is, yeah.
He doesn't look very black here.
He does not. He looks a bit ethnically ambiguous.
He's got like a image tattoo on his shoulder.
I like his luchador type mask. That's
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, it just kind of looks like a Spawn mask.
He's still got the chains. It's around his leg.
Yeah.
Super fun.
And the logo on his knee.
Yeah, and then we see some initial concepts for Lona, Yua, Cobra Sun, some of the like initial Cobra Sun designs. Like apparently he was gonna try and have like a Batman cowl thing where like his chin was showing, but he decided against that. A couple different designs for Lona until he landed on like a sort of mohawk type thing, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool. In the first page of the sketchbook, it says DAP sketchbook for Do a Powerbomb.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking in his head, does he call us DAP?
I love me some DAP.
Yeah. This week we're reviewing DAP.
Yeah, we're dapping each other up.
Yeah.
And then he plugs his other shit, which is all really good. But
I feel like
I haven't read Extremity yet, but
he's done more than this, because I feel like just his like significance to us, I feel like he's done more work.
he has
Jurassic League is on here because he just wrote that. But
yeah,
like,
he's done like writing stuff, but this is all the stuff that he's written and drawn.
yeah.
So
I didn't even know he was on Extremity.
Yeah, he wrote and draw that.
Yeah,
Wrote
you
and
said
drew.
you haven't read that.
I have not read that one yet.
I wrote it down for future
I
reference.
tried to get us to read it one week, and you're like, nah,
because
you said nah.
You didn't sell it enough.
Do I have to hype every single thing up to you?
Yeah, I
Or-
got to be excited about.
Yeah,
what
but
we're
then
reading.
you're gonna be like, then it's gonna be like a blue and gold type situation where you're like, you just are not into it whatsoever.
Blue and Gold was bad.
It was not
Extremity is probably good.
bad. Extremity probably fucks pretty hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's done more stuff than this. Like, but like some of it's kind of hard to plug because I know he's been on like some Batman black and white stuff.
Yeah, but this is just like his trades.
Yeah, this is his trades. Yeah.
So anyway, good stuff.
What would you rate this book, Daniel? I'll go first.
I didn't think about it. Go ahead.
I'm imagining myself at a wrestling match
Okay.
with the biggest beer I could find
Yeah.
and like a stadium hot dog,
Mm-hmm.
enjoying some fine entertainment, which is what this book was.
Definitely.
So the highest praise that I can give a book. Also, the hot dog's a chili dog, because why not?
Yeah, definitely. I would just gonna give it a gotta have it, Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent stuff here.
He is always a reliable artist.
Incredible art, very engaging writing.
Yeah, he's always very fun. Like, he really opens himself up to, like, it's not like these concepts are like super wild and complex, but there's like enough there to where it's very clear that he has a love for wrestling, and then he wants to write a story about that, but with like a twist of it being like an interdimensional battle. And so like that's the comics part of it, and then like because that concept isn't so like crazy, he's able to get creative with some of this world building around it, like the different teams,
Yeah.
the person running the tournament, God at the end,
Yeah.
So he's really good at like putting just a bunch of fun ideas into comics, which is why he's like one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, and this is something that like I feel like only he can do and pull off, and then
Yeah.
also like I don't think he'd really be done again unless he wanted to do more, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes this one super unique.
Yeah. So let's get into the pull list, Colin.
Shove in your box. The pull list, what did you shove in your box?
Daniel, a bit of a light week. I don't know if it was the
Indeed.
same for you, but I picked up 2 Night Terrors books. So Night Terrors number 3, like the main one. And then Night Terrors Green Lantern number 2 came out.
I forgot to text you to bring me books.
Bring you books?
Yeah.
Oh, like the Shaky Cane one?
Shaky Cane.
Dude, I knew I was forgetting something.
And then like the Night Terrors, Superman, stuff like that.
Oh, that's a good one too. You're going to want that one.
Just like shit that I don't want to buy, but you have. And
Yeah.
then maybe like Fish Flies.
Fish Flies is good.
You see that Dinger tweeted at me telling me to read Fish Flies?
I did, and you should listen to him. That's all I'm saying.
I'll give it that.
People want it, Daniel.
I'll give it that one issue,
Okay, that's fine.
and then I'll decide.
And then, Daniel, a third book I picked up is Max Rebo.
Oh yeah,
the Star Wars book about the blue goopy looking motherfucker in Jabba the Hutt's palace.
I saw that. I'm like, Nathan's definitely picking that
Dude,
up.
I did. And I did a public service today, Daniel.
You read
because
it?
I did read it, but like as I was checking out, the guy's like that's checking me out was like, this is so funny. And I was like, I don't know if it's like a one shot or a series or whatever, but it seemed fun and I'll pick it up. And then I told him about the titular C3PO one shot.
Oh yeah.
And he had never heard about it. And I hyped it up as best as I could, Daniel.
Wow.
I was like, it is easily the best Star Wars thing I've ever read. Probably the best one shot as well.
You really set his expectations really high.
And it is so good. My expectations were high when we reread it for episode 111 where we did one shots.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I remember this being so good. And like,
yeah,
I remember rereading it and I was like, this could just suck now. Like now that I've matured in my taste for comics.
Yeah.
And rereading it, I was even like, God, this fucking bangs, dude. So it's super good. So I recommended that to him.
Nice.
As a good Samaritan would. But yeah.
Doing God's work.
Recommending that C-3PO one shot.
Is Rebo good?
No.
No.
I mean, it's interesting because it like takes place during episode
5,
like
Empire.
Yeah.
They're all like stories around Empire for some reason.
You see some of the stuff happen there, but like basically his musical group is planning on killing like Jabba the Hutt. And Max Rebo. It's just like some extra stuff on him and like his band, which I think is kind of fun. Yeah. So like I knew what it was. I wasn't even sure if I was going to pick it up, but like
it's like more Battle of the Band Star Wars content.
Dude, yeah, I know, which I love. I discovered that I love that specific little niche thing in Star Wars.
You love the music industry in a fictional,
I'm so
sci-fi
fascinated
world.
by it because they're just paid to play music for Jabba the Hutt, and there's constant attacks on Jabba the Hutt, so they have to like dodge and like weave and stuff. Yeah, and Max Rebo like idolizes this composer or whatever he calls him because he's
John Williams.
Yes, exactly. No, he idolizes this random dude because he was such a good music maker and he was killed like with just like a stray blaster thing that like hit him in the head. And so it's like a lot about like how music is bigger than death, kind of.
True.
And so like it's good for what it is. Like if you want to read something silly that also kind of hits, this is good.
I think that's the direction you have to go with it,
Yeah, and it is a one shot. So
okay. Nice.
And I've never really thought about Max Rebo, right?
Yeah.
But apparently he's just legs. He doesn't have arms. And so when he sits in the thing and he's playing whatever instrument he plays, he's playing with his feet. And he's sitting in it like it's a pool tube.
Is he?
Yeah.
Let me look him up real quick.
Oh my God, there's a Max Rebo Lego minifigure.
Oh yeah.
That's $130.
No, dude, he's got fucking 4 legs, if anything.
No, dude, oh wait.
He's got 4 limbs.
Dude.
He's like a little elephant.
He did not have 4 limbs in that comic, I swear to God.
Just 2?
It was just 2. Maybe I fucked it up.
I see like the cover.
Does he have 4 limbs there?
A cover. No, he's in his little like tube thing.
I know. And so I'm like, does he play with his fucking feet?
Oh, and there's like a whole like...
Also, his fingers are fucking weird. They like cut off.
You know what? This is kind of weird continuity wise because it looks like he's sitting in it.
It does look like in that he's sitting in it.
But it's like a weird toilet.
Yeah, but in most of the other content, he's like playing clearly with his arms. So I don't know. There's a really funny panel where it's like a close up on his face and he's looking at something like really like mortifying. And so you see the reflection of what's going on in his eyes. And I think it's really funny seeing his face with something really scary like reflected in his eyes.
Yeah.
Anyway, the art's pretty good. Like the interior art. I only picked it up because I flipped through it and I was like, this actually looks pretty solid. So
I think everything where it looks like he just has legs, he's like sitting in his instrument thing.
Yeah.
So, but I think he can walk around like normally.
Maybe I fucked it up. I'll have to double check when I get back, but
for sure.
And then I read both of the Night Terrors things. So I read everything I picked up today.
What Night Terrors things did you get?
Night Terrors 3, the main book.
3.
Mm-hmm. And then Night Terrors Green Lantern number 2, which I was worried about because at the end of Green Lantern 1,
it was
Parallax showed up, and I'm like, fuck. Like, why do we always have to go back to Parallax, right?
Yeah.
But what I actually liked it because they stuck the landing because like the whole concept is like people are in their own nightmares because the villain's trying to search everybody's nightmares for the Nightmare Stone. But it's interesting because Green Lantern is like specifically pretty good at not getting scared at stuff or like not being intimidated by fear. So he's able to recognize what's going on and like overcome it. And he wakes up like earlier than anybody else because he specifically is trained to like not succumb to fear.
So like if you like
and so
overcome your nightmare or whatever, you wake up.
Apparently. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool that they ended up going with that, and it wasn't just like Hal Jordan being scared the whole time. He was initially, because he was like a little kid, and then he's like slowly starts to realize what's going on.
Are these spinoffs only supposed to be like 2 issues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Each one's only 2. And then the whole event, I think, is only 4. So there's only 1 more to come out.
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Nice.
There's like a Sinestro backup story that I didn't care for. But I did read it. I think he's just going to be a part of the main series. So they had to do something with Sinestro, but
maybe.
Yeah. And then Night Terrors 3 is pretty solid as well. So
nice. Did that Ghost Rider Wolverine book come out?
Yeah.
Did you get that?
No.
Why
not? Because I was picking up I was already picking up Max Rebo, and I was like, do I want like a 4th new thing?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know if it's good or not.
Yeah, let me know if it's good. If it's good, I'll hunt it down.
Nice little Ryan Stegman cover, you know?
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And then there is Godzilla Here There Be Dragons, #2.
Nice.
The long awaited. I feel like it's been a minute since the first one came out.
Yeah. It feels like it.
Yeah, it's back.
Nice.
Did you watch anything?
I watched tons of stuff, Daniel.
Let's hear it.
A surprise for you. I watched the movie Talk to Me.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. I took Ben, my
Nice.
best friend, who's also unemployed right now, and we had an unemployed Thursday where we went and saw Talk to Me.
You treated yourself.
I literally right after the pod, we were hopping on some games, and I was like, Ben, what are you doing tomorrow? And he's like, fucking nothing. What are we doing? And he had never heard of the movie, didn't even look up a trailer. He was just going in blind. He just wanted his icy.
Yeah, for sure.
In the theater. And it is so good.
Was it? Did you like it?
I liked it a lot. Yeah. I typically don't care for horror movies where people get like possessed or whatever, but this has a very clear like little like niche thing that like activates it, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember you were talking about it, and you're like, it feels like something that would happen.
Yeah.
And basically the concept, I think you might have even explained it, but you just like hold a medium's hand that's been like separated, and you hold it and you say, talk to me, and a thing possesses you. And as long as you sever it within 90 seconds, like it's all safe and you feel really good after.
Yeah.
Basically a metaphor for drugs.
Yeah.
And like all the kids are like filming it and stuff. And so like this feels like something that would happen if it did exist, you know? So I think that keeps the interest. And then, dude, that kid that gets possessed, Riley, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And like, it's very believable as well. Like, cause he gets possessed for more than the 90-second like safe time.
Yeah.
And it's a believable reason why they like didn't sever him, because it was that the main character's mom that seemingly possessed him. Yeah, whatever. But so really good. And God, I felt so bad for that kid the whole movie, dude.
Yeah, he got fucked up.
They did a really good job making him seem pretty vulnerable. And like when he finally decides like, oh, I do want to do this, you know, it just like immediately backfires. So
yeah.
And what I really liked about this is at the end, there were very clearly like 2 outcomes that could happen. And with how crazy this shit was going on throughout the entire movie, I had no idea what was going to happen. Like what of those 2 outcomes like was going to happen? Like the good one where things are like relatively okay, or like one where it's severely fucked up because this person is like
truly believes
that's the
answer.
Yeah,
or
that they're doing what they need to be doing. And so like I was like pretty tense the whole time.
Yeah.
So they're really good at that.
Dude, that I like couldn't stop thinking about like the opening scene.
Oh, like with the party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like, I was like, what the fuck? Because like you don't get a second to prepare for it, and it just like happens super fucking fast.
It does happen fast. I didn't really know what was going on, and so I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? You know?
Yeah, and so like I don't know, just everything that happened, I just thought back to like that scene, and so
I'm glad that like connected at some point in the movie too, because it's kind of like a cold open, and like isn't really mentioned, but it ends up being like a pretty big plot point for like the origin of this thing. So
definitely, yeah,
I thought that was cool. And what was that one scene that you guys were talking about? Was it the foot thing? It was like you and Serena were talking.
I think the one scene we're both talking about, like the opening scene.
Oh, okay.
Or
it might have been the foot scene,
or the one, or the foot scene, or the one with the kid. You know, there's like a couple.
Dude, the sounds in this movie are so bad. Like there's one point where someone's possessed and is like hitting their head on the back of like a wall.
Yeah, and it's
like they
the
start
tile.
to bleed and they start like licking it up, dude. And I'm like, oh fuck, dude.
Yeah.
And there's one point where the kid like is possessed and he's trying to like dig his own eyeball out.
Oh, dude.
Fucking awful. I like
the whole
I
theater was
actually
like,
cringed. Yeah, dude. So really, really good. Like I definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
And Sophie's convinced that she wants to watch it when it comes to
Do
streaming.
not let her watch that, dude.
And I told her, I was like, you do not want to watch this.
Yeah.
So
Aaliyah, she's like, isn't a fan of like scary movies, right? And she's also not a fan of like any blood or gore.
Yeah.
And I was telling like her fiance Brittany about it because I was like, you have to see this. You would love it. And then I turned to Aaliyah, I'm like, you would hate it. It's like everything you don't like. But yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you saw it.
Yeah, I had a great time.
I think it's good to support movies like that, especially if they're A24 because they pay people. And
yeah, the
and
great
just
studio.
Like how many Australian movies have you seen, you know?
Yeah, it was apparently an Australian Film Festival winner, I think. And that's how it got picked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. I thought it was great. I think that the main actor, the girl in this, like, she was really good.
Yeah,
very
she's
convincing
incredible.
When she was like
when she's possessed, so
when
good.
she was like hallucinating stuff.
She's definitely like the best like person to be the main character.
100%, dude. I was really impressed. I was really impressed by like a lot of this, honestly.
Yeah, just like
the acting is
conceptually
really good.
Acting, yeah. I liked it a lot. Yeah, like just low budget stuff. Like it was like $5 million. I think it made like $10 million its first weekend.
This is a $5 million film.
$5 million.
Really?
Yeah, pretty good, right?
Super good.
And
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
And so when you like double money, like your first weekend is like pretty good.
Yeah.
And like the directors are like twins.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. One of them is like Daniel and Matthew Filippo or something like that. And they do like that. They do like YouTube videos where it's like there'll be just like a bunch of action. There'll be like kind of like blood and gore and stuff like that. Not necessarily like horror, but like stuff that they're used to, you know? And so it's just cool to see like little guys get the win kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool story.
Definitely.
It's Danny and Michael Filippo.
Yeah.
Filippo.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, color me a fallopian, Daniel.
Okay. Speaking of horror movies that the other saw first, I watched Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was good. It was probably the best Evil Dead movie I've seen out of the two.
Okay, cool.
You know, I feel like this might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think like horror fans would love it, you know? Like this would be a great like first horror movie for anyone.
It wouldn't?
No.
Okay.
It just in my opinion.
Sure.
Dude, that like opening scene with like the fucking title card.
That was so sick.
I was like, this is so dope.
There's an amazing drone shot as well.
Yeah.
Like a sweeping sort of drone shot. And yeah, that like the title card itself, I was like, this movie fucking rules. Like,
yeah.
It was like it was a great opening scene. So, and then just like a lot of really creative scenes that make you go like, ooh.
Yeah. There was this one was also pretty low budget. Like this one was 15 million.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was like, this looks great.
It did look really good. There's some really creative, creepy scenes.
The mom in this was fucking perfect. She was incredible.
I think she's actually possessed.
She might be a deadite for real.
There's one of my favorite scenes in that is when they have her like locked out of the actual apartment. You can like
seeing the people.
Yeah, they're shooting it through the peephole.
Yeah.
And she's like just being creepy and like, you know, fucking going up to the people and shit. It's so good. There's one nitpick I have with this movie.
Go for it.
There's part of the thing that like causes everything is that he finds this like record and he puts it on a record player and he plays it like backwards.
It's like an evil audiobook or something.
Yeah. And he's like using his finger to play it backwards or something, or like maybe he's manually playing it. I can't remember. I think he's playing it backwards. Okay. But the pace that he's playing it backwards manually is so consistent. And I'm like, do you know how hard that is? You ever try to like make something like play manually like that?
No.
It's so hard because obviously like you're going
it's like
faster.
wobbly.
Yeah, it's like wobbly. So I was like, this guy's an unbelievable talent.
Dude, whenever they're possessed, dude, like this, it's kind of a theme of these movies, but like they're called like deadites when they're possessed. Mm-hmm. But they are so rude in this.
Super rude.
I was like, that's okay. I'm like, that was uncalled for.
I know. Yeah.
Just like a bunch of shit that they say. But I love when they do a thing in a horror movie that I want them to do. Because like one of the people just fucking like kicks one of them like in the chest. I'm like, good. Like,
Nice.
like get him away.
Yeah.
And then like there's this scene in the kitchen where one just gets fucking smacked in the head with a pan. And it's so satisfying.
Yeah, it is very nice.
I like laughed out loud because I'm like, yes, that's what needs to happen.
Yeah. I like that they are able to recognize that the possessed family members are like not them.
Yeah.
They seem able to cope with that fact pretty easily, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was like, thank God that they're not just like being stupid to try and save them or whatever.
What's always good about these movies is that they always have like a pretty consistent theme throughout all of them. And that theme is to always have a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Because it saves the day.
Yeah. At the end in the garage, just the thing that's chasing after them.
Yeah, I was trying to wrap my head around what that was, but I was just like, it's just a thing.
That alone seems like it would cost like 15 million to pull off, you know?
Yeah, probably.
So I was like, this is disgusting.
You know what?
Also, so much blood.
There's something that Hollywood won't give us because it would make everyone too happy, Nathan.
Okay.
And it's Chainsaw Man versus the Evil Dead.
Dude.
Which would be probably the greatest piece of media of all time.
The greatest crossover since Endgame.
Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah. I heard a bit of trivia about this movie.
Okay.
And I want to quiz you.
Okay.
How many gallons of blood do you think that they used for this movie?
Dude, it's so much. Because they do like a Stanley Kubrick scene with like the blood in the elevator or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot just on that alone. So I'd probably say like 500 gallons maybe.
It's a good guess. They use 1,720 gallons of blood.
Oh my God. There is a lot of blood in this.
Yeah.
By the end, they're covered in it. So
yeah, completely covered. Fills up a elevator and everything.
So I wonder how much the elevator alone was of that. Because it's probably like about half. Because there's still a lot of blood outside of just that scene.
Yeah.
Because there's the scene where there's the cutter, the grinder, whatever you want to call that.
The cutter. Oh, the wood chipper?
The wood chipper thing.
Yeah, that was
so much blood's coming out of that. Yeah.
That was so satisfying when they
was very
pushed him
satisfying.
through that.
Yeah. So really
the Deadites are like pretty OP, and that's always kind of like a little annoying, but you know, it seems to just kind of stop the issue for the movie, you know, and then just moves on somewhere else. This would be a sweet movie just having like the background of like a Halloween party, you know, you just put it on and turn it down a little bit.
That's a really good point. If I do another Halloween party, I'll do that.
100%. Because this is it's like fun. It's a fun one.
It is.
You know?
It's fun because it's so creative.
It's not like a highbrow kind of like horror movie.
You know what's going on immediately.
Yeah, I'm like, this is fun. They nail everything, and like you're happy with it. It's a swift 1 hour and a half. You know.
How was it visually for you? Because most of what I saw was through like a sun glare.
Oh no, dude! I watched it at night. Turned off every light in the house.
It looked great.
Turned it up. Looked fantastic. It was so much fun. Definitely the way to watch it.
Because I didn't see half the movie. I feel like
really, yeah, it was
because a lot of it's in the darkness.
Yeah, because the power goes out or whatever.
Yeah. So that's good.
We've been watching like Seinfeld. Super good show.
Okay.
There's this one episode that I want to tell you about. It's like
do a Seinfeld impression.
What's up with that?
Okay, all right, that's good enough.
I don't like practice it in the mirror.
You know, I feel like I would every episode. Seinfeld would say something and I'd just mimic it.
Have you tried it?
No.
Did you want to try it? Since you made me try?
What's like a tagline that he says?
What's up with that? Or Kramer. Like he says Kramer a lot.
Kramer. What's the deal with that?
Okay.
He just kind of does that.
But anyway, there's just like episode that's like super meta, and I think it's really funny.
Really?
So it's an episode about him. He like does a set at a comedy show, and then people from like NBC come talk to him, and they talk about like they want to meet up with him and they want him to like pitch a show.
A Seinfeld show?
Yeah.
That's what he pitches?
Yeah. And so like George Costanza is like, we could just make it a show about nothing.
Whoa.
He's like, nothing? He's like, yeah, nothing. They go to the diner and go to the show and nothing happens. And
that's
then
so funny.
Just like the fact that they have to sell it to this network and they're like, nothing?
Absolutely not.
You know?
That's pretty funny.
And then like every time like something happens in like that episode, they're like, there should be an episode about that, you know? And I'm like, there is an episode about that. We're watching it right now.
That's hilarious.
And I was just like, this show's so good.
That's
like, I'm like,
fun.
this is a smart show.
Is it really?
Like
Nope.
that episode was a smart
Sure.
episode, but yeah,
How many seasons is that?
it's like 6 or 8. Like it's not a lot for some reason, but
Apparently it has legs. So
yeah, we're on the 3rd season right now.
Okay.
And I guess like the episodes aren't very long, you know, but it's definitely a go-to like eating
Sure.
show or like burn 30 minutes kind of show.
we're almost done with Full Metal Alchemist, and then we're gonna watch Parks and Rec after. I'm very excited.
Oh, nice. Good anime.
Yeah. Parks and Rec, yeah.
But we both watched TMNT.
Oh, you did it? You ended up watching it?
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
Did you go by yourself?
No, Monday. No, I went with Dom.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Dom is like one of the best friends to have as far as like movie going, because like we have like pretty much the same interests.
Yeah.
And if I can't convince like Sarah to go,
It's like, okay, let
like
me
I
get
know
Dom.
some shit like he'll just be down to watch,
Totally.
you know? And that was like one of them.
This was incredible.
It was awesome.
It was so good.
It looked fantastic.
Yeah. So one of the big visual elements is that there's like some, I don't even know what to call it. It's not
Like
scratchy,
sketch.
but there's like, yeah, some some sketch looking marker things as part of like every, scene and like animation and
Movement, yeah.
yeah, all of the assets, I guess, that you made that have like this very fun like marker looking thing on it. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems like this movie took all of the good things that Spider-Verse did, and they were able to do their own little twist on it.
Yeah, just apply it to like Turtles. you
Yeah,
know?
100%. And I think it worked really well.
I think this will sit really well through time. Like I think when I watch it like with my kids, I'm like, this movie's so fucking good.
Yeah,
you know
it
what
is,
I mean?
It is super fun.
And especially like when you compare it to like other like TMNT stuff, like the 90s stuff kind of like has aged, and like the last TMNT like animated movie was just like okay, you know?
I think it'll probably age a little bit, but it'll
Probably
have
just
this,
the references.
I think the references for sure. Yeah,
And the
but
lingo. I was surprised with how many references there were, because
Yeah.
I feel like some movies like just avoid them altogether, but they're like bringing up like anime, and they talk
like
about
Attack on Titan.
they
You know?
talk about Leo not having Riz.
Yeah, I was like, wow, they got Riz in there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is definitely for the kids.
yeah. So I think like in that way it'll age, but I think it'll still have the same love and energy as like the original live action stuff does.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, super good. I enjoy the origin of them in this way, especially
Yeah.
of Splinter,
Mhm.
because it kind of just like makes sense to me. And I love Jackie Chan as Splinter.
Oh, he's
in this.
awesome.
I was like, okay, yeah, Jackie Chan, sure. But like it felt very emotional. Like his performance, I think, was really good.
Yeah, dude, he was like trying to, because they go out in the world a lot, and he was trying to bring the world to them. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so fucking cute.
And like it's so obvious that like he would hate humans because people hate rats, you
Yeah.
know. It's like, and why has that never been like a big thing for him, you know? I'm like,
Sure.
it's right there the whole time. Like there's a lot of this movie where it's like, how have we never explored this with the turtles, you
right,
know?
yeah.
Like, and I think part of it's because like in the live action ones, he knows martial arts because he's the rat of like a martial artist.
Yeah.
So like,
As a rat, he just watched.
yeah. So, but in here they just learn martial arts from like YouTube
For like,
videos.
yeah, for like protection and shit.
Yeah. So
That was a sweet montage.
dude, those like the little turtles when they had the ooze on them.
Yeah.
So fucking cute.
Adorable.
I was like, this is so, and then when they're like mutants and they're still little.
Yeah.
So adorable.
Baby mutants.
Dude, who is it?
The baby
Leo
mutant
that
Ninja
has
Turtles?
the glasses. Or sorry, Donatello that has
Donatello,
glasses.
yeah.
When he has the glasses like a little kid, it's so fucking funny to me.
Yeah, I'm like, how does he know he has seeing problems
Yeah.
at this point?
Yeah.
But like with Splinter, it's like he's just like this dad who's like kind of nagging them throughout the movie.
Yeah, and he's so concerned just over
And
their
then
health.
at the end, he fucking solos like everyone and saves the day.
So good.
I was like, this is so hard.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's got like all their weapons and shit. I'm like, this is so dope.
There's a really good soundtrack to this, like, because they stick with one theme,
Yeah.
which is like
90s
retro
rap.
hip hop and like rap.
Yeah.
And I think that works super well. And god damn it, I loved Superfly.
Dude, that was the greatest walkout.
Oh my
all
God.
time.
I was like, I get it.
Because like when he said Superfly, that song was playing in my head.
Yeah.
And then they played it to introduce that character.
So sick.
And I was like, this is so dope.
It was so good. I like was so jazzed by that for some reason. I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah, dude.
It's like a little
super hard playlist.
Yeah. Like just like the old hip hop stuff, and like they stuck with that. Like it wasn't just like random. It wasn't like fucking the Mario Bros movie where it's like, let's get some Beast Boys in here.
Yeah.
And like, get some other random popular song that everybody just knows. It was like a very concise, like retro hip hop, and that it worked really well.
And like the animation like really works well with like graffiti that's like consistent throughout New York. And then like graffiti like is just coincides with like 90s hip hop and stuff like that. And so it was just a very fun, and that's the time when like the Turtles are like coming out, and were super popular. So it was cool that they stuck with an era, because I think that works really well.
Yeah, I loved it. And when they're like really getting into like the ninja stuff, there's like a montage.
There's like 3 montages.
There's 3 montages, but there's one montage that I was blown away by.
Was it the one where they're like interrogating like the crews?
Yeah, all the mob bosses and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so good. It like gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so happy that this shit is good.
I even liked like the fight, their like first fight scene kind of thing, where they're trying to get the scooter. I'm like, because they're trying to figure it out. Experience. They never really fought anyone.
I'm so glad that they mentioned like, I haven't done this for real. Like, so it was fun.
Yeah. So it's just like they're able to put so much into this and still be like a really good length and have really great pacing.
Yeah. April's fun. She's puke girl.
Oh yeah, I did not see that coming.
That scene went like just like a little bit too long.
Do you know who voice acts her?
The girl from The Bear, right?
Yeah,
she was perfect.
I was like, no way.
Yeah, she was great.
It was a little distracting for me just because like it's like the same voice,
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't know that until like a couple days before.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much to talk about in this.
The Turtles, the voice actors for the Turtles were great.
Yeah,
they were kids.
I think it took some getting used to. Just as far as like the voices I have in like my head, I guess. For
I was
these
in
characters.
immediately.
Really?
Yeah. It like
it was funny
feels
that
like it fits.
It's funny that like the Turtles have like phones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like they're teenagers, and this is like a modern teenager thing. But like, yeah, it is funny because when they're going to bed, they're like in bed, but they're like on their phones, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I do.
I'm like, same.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd was awesome in this.
I'm annoyed that only Paul Rudd's character was skateboarding around.
Why you think like Rocksteady should
skateboard? I felt like the Turtles should have been. I like the element of the Turtles where they like to skateboard,
Yeah.
But maybe I'm just old now, and kids don't do that anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I hope if they make a sequel, which I'm pretty sure they will,
definitely.
Maybe like that.
Did you stay for the after credit?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But maybe that's something that they pick up after being friends with Paul Rudd's character.
Yeah. So it didn't like end the way I thought it would, which was very refreshing.
Yeah.
Like they go to stop Superfly, and then, all of the people that are on like his crew like are turning on him because they really don't want to like they were kill everyone on Earth kind of thing.
They were like, I didn't know this was an option to just like be happy, So, but like I like when they meet Superfly, and Superfly's like, oh, this is great. There's more mutants.
Yeah.
And he's not like sinister to them because he's like, we're family, and then like they show him a really good time, and then it turns out he's a little bit crazy. And I was like, ooh, they're in like a really tough situation right now,
Yeah.
Because like it's understandable why all the other mutants would be like on his side. He's very commanding.
Yeah.
Ice Cube was so good in this, by the way.
Yeah, he was great. He's great at being like a villain.
Yeah, he is. It was so engaging. But I was like, when they have to decide like, shit, we have to like stop these guys. I was like, I don't know if I would be able to do that in their situation,
Yeah.
So
this animation style works really well in like that bowling alley where it's all like black lights and stuff.
Dude,
like this looks so
such
cool.
a good scene.
Love it. Splinter was like warning the Turtles about like the humans. He's like, they'll milk you.
They're gonna milk you.
And then they were strapped up to like a mega milker machine. They kept saying like, we don't have nipples, but then they're actually being milked, for their like, blood or whatever.
The science people didn't say that they were getting milked, but it was really funny when Splinter saves them, and he's like, does that say mega milker on them? And then it zooms into like the name.
Like, I told you,
you're going to get milked. It was, I was like, this joke's going a little bit long, and then, but it was a good payoff because they actually did get milked, and I think it was very funny.
Yeah. Bebop and Rocksteady were perfect casting. I like their designs.
The good designs.
Love the Bebop nipples.
It was so funny seeing that first.
Yeah.
I wish we saw more of them because I didn't really feel like we got a whole lot of Bebop and
They could have like their
Rocksteady.
own show.
They could. It's because it seems like the chemistry's there, you know?
Yeah, and then
of
normally...
just Rogan and John Cena. But I wish there was like a little bit more for them to shine.
Yeah. Because they're normally like, I guess, bigger compared to like the other people, other mutants as far as like...
I felt like they were.
Villains. No, not like size, but like more important, I guess, as far as being villains to them.
I felt like the cast of mutants that Superfly had recruited was a little bit large.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to like really care about everybody. And like, I don't think you're supposed to, like, you're not really supposed to care about the frog guy that much, you know, or like the bat lady.
Yeah.
But it was like,
and there was like a roach or something.
There was a roach thing. And like, that was the only thing where I was like, this is like a little bit much. Cause when there was that car scene, like the car chase scene.
Yeah.
There's just like so many different characters kind of involved there. And I was like, this is a little bit much, but it wasn't like too bad.
I didn't even realize like what that fish one was until like near the end of the movie, where it was like a
Post Malone's character.
Yeah.
I didn't really.
He was like a manta, like a the thing.
Stingray.
Stingray. Yeah.
He was a stingray.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what he was.
A stingray.
Okay.
And I had to look up like the cast. I'm like, who the fuck are all these people? You know, and who voice acts them? And so I feel like if I knew like Post Malone was that thing, I maybe would have enjoyed that part more.
I knew that was him, and I like didn't really care about his character that much.
Okay.
You know, so
or at least like listened for his voice, you know?
Yeah. So that was like the only thing where like there's a couple scenes where like all of them there, it seems like a lot.
Yeah.
But I like how they decide that they're like, oh, we're going to go with like the turtles and what they want to do, you know, because I don't really want to kill all the people. I just thought that was the only option.
Yeah.
And there's like this theme of like acceptance that's really good. And, you know, Superfly turns into this like huge
super duper fly.
Just what do they call him? What do they call Godzilla?
Kaiju?
A kaiju, yeah. It becomes like a kaiju type thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I laughed so fucking hard in this movie when they're trying to fight him, and then someone was like, oh, he's got to run out of cars eventually. And then he looks to his right, and there's a parking garage right there. I could not stop laughing. I thought that was the best joke of the whole fucking movie.
I was like the only one in the theater that laughed at that. I went at a great time to where like there's only like 2 other people in the theater, dude. But I was howling, dude.
I like couldn't focus for like the next 3 minutes because I thought that shit was so funny. He's like, he has to run out of cars eventually, right? And he's like, looks to his right.
No, that was a great one.
But I like that because they're like teens and like he's seen like Attack on Titan. It's like, oh, he's got a weak point in the back. I thought that was fun.
Right.
But like I was trying to figure out like what the finale scene, like the climax scene was. And at first I thought it was like the Superfly getting pinned by everybody. And I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, but doesn't feel like super great. But then
they kicked it up a notch. Dude.
Yeah. So they kicked it up a notch and I was like, okay, maybe the turtles will figure it out. But then it like builds up into the scene where the people of New York know that they're good and that we should help them, and so they like accept them and like start helping them too. It was just really nice.
Yeah, no, it was super touching.
It was very, very touching. And then they like have that revelation. It's like we were trying to be heroes for the wrong reason, and we should just be heroes anyway. Like not for acceptance, but just be heroes because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
and that's an important, I think, revelation for them. For
some reason, I like fucking loved that they were able to like go to school like after this.
So
I'm like,
this
is so satisfying. Like I'm like, this is like what they wanted, to like have friends, not just like be with like their brothers the entire time.
Yeah,
you know?
it was just like go to high school, which is like just bare minimum. High school's not even that cool.
Go to prom.
Yeah, go to prom. It was fun that there was a prom. They took off their masks, but they were still color coded, which was nice.
Yeah, they still wore like the drip, clothes, their colors.
The drip was their colors. Yeah, so that was fun. There's Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird references in this.
Like what?
So it's Eastman High School.
Oh, didn't catch that.
There was a building called the Laird that they like met at. So that was fun. Also, Kevin Eastman was a voice actor in this. Yeah, so he's going to get like royalties and stuff for it, which is super cool.
That's good.
Because
maybe like the
sometimes comic book create. I mean, they're stacked. They're kind of an exception to like comic book creators not really getting fairly compensated, I think.
Yeah, I think they did okay.
Yeah, but it's cool that
because they always get like a writing credit because it's characters created by kind of thing.
So, but I think Eastman was the dude that went up to Splinter.
Yeah, he like helped him
and
out.
he helped him up. Yeah. So that was cool. But I just like love when there's references to like the creators because it's like I'm the one that knows this, you know?
Yeah.
Most of the other people in the theater were like, Eastman High. Yeah. Sounds right.
Right. Yeah, no, super good. Big fan. I'm glad it seemed like it like met my expectations. Like I tried not to have any, but like I did think it looked really good.
Yeah.
Based off of everything that we saw. And I think they stuck the landing.
Was there a I Love You Man reference when Paul Rudd's character was like saying brosif and stuff like a whole bunch? Do you think that was that or
kind of? Yeah,
because they were saying like bro but like with different puns and stuff, and I was like, is this like an I Love You Man?
Bruh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it was like that specific of a reference.
I was looking for like Jobin or something like that was like that would lock it in that this is like a reference, but
yeah, I mean just with that actor it's like close enough, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, there's gonna be a sequel. Spoilers, I guess, but it's gonna be Shredder. And I'm just happy that Shredder wasn't this movie's villain, you know?
Yeah, because that we've seen that like 10 times.
Yeah. So
who do you think would be a good Splinter in kind of
Splinter or Shredder?
Shredder, sorry. A good Shredder in like the theme of like voice actors that they have for this.
It'd have to be someone pretty tough, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one in mind?
Yep.
Who?
I want to hear what you think.
Dude, I don't know.
Come up with something.
Because it'd have to be...
I guess someone pretty big, right? Maybe?
I would assume like an Asian actor.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't have an Asian actor in mind, did you?
No.
Okay, then who was yours?
Idris Elba. I just feel like he could do anything.
He can do anything, yeah. But like I would need like, I don't know. I don't really have anybody in mind.
Who's a scary Asian guy?
20 top Asian actors in Hollywood. Let's see this.
Yeah.
John Cho from Star Trek. Kenneth Choi from Wolf of Wall Street.
No.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Furious 6 guy? Or the Fast and the Furious guy?
Oh, fucking... What's his name in that?
I can't remember.
Maybe.
Randall Park.
That if they wanted to go like the comedy angle.
Oh no, this dude, 100%. Daniel Day Kim.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah,
Yeah,
he does a ton of voice acting already.
So yeah, probably him.
That's all right. That's our vote. You heard it here first.
Yeah, fan cast.
Yeah,
but yeah, really good movie. I was super happy with it. Sophie's the biggest TMNT nerd I know, and she was super happy with it.
Good.
So yeah, super nice.
All right, Nathan.
I also watched Parasite.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you're telling me to watch movies and not watching them because I'm unemployed. Pretty good. I had no idea what this movie was. Still,
really nice.
Yeah, I thought it was a horror movie.
It's got like some horror elements to it.
It's like a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Did you like it?
It was good.
Yeah.
People like went nuts over this film.
Yeah.
Which I think it's a little bit overhyped in that respect.
Sure.
But the idea is creative.
Yeah.
I like the idea of tricking just rich people, you know?
Yeah.
And like the whole twist that there's like people living in like their basement or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fun and believable that like they wouldn't know this because they're rich people and they didn't, you know, they don't go in the basement or whatever, and they don't look behind big heavy furniture. So I was like, okay, this all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was very well written because like the whole situation felt believable enough, you know?
Yeah.
That like they would be able to convince these people that like, oh, they need to fire these people and just like hire my family. Mm-hmm. So I like how clever they were, like getting hired by the rich family, and the whole situation where the original housekeeper has leverage over them now because she knows like what's actually going on, but then they have leverage over her, and so they're kind of at this like weird standstill.
Yeah.
So I thought that was written really well, and you know, things are like building up, but you don't really know where it's going, and then when that climax happens, it's like, wow, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't really understand like the end where like the dad is like in the basement, like thematically, like the dad's like living in the basement and he could just leave, but he chooses not to. And the son's like, I'm gonna get rich and buy the house. So I don't know. But yeah, it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
I was engaged. So it was a good movie.
It's another Best Picture winner.
Yeah, it is. And I could see why, but I'm curious why it got so popular in America.
I don't know. I think that director had like a little bit of legs in America. It had some popularity with some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think just once like one person sees it and then word of mouth kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think I watched it at home. I think that, but I can't remember. I think it was right around like the pandemic or something when it came out. I can't remember that.
Yeah, it was. It was just before.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I like that movie.
Yeah, it's good.
I thought you might have seen it, but I can't remember.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I'll definitely think of another one for you.
Okay. Yeah, just text me.
If you're still open to suggestions.
Yep. Throw them my way.
Is there anything you're in the mood for?
Nope.
No.
Anything.
Anything. Probably watch Barbarian.
The Justin Long one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not really like the Justin Long one, but he is in that.
But he's in it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to, think of what it was, but.
Don't Watch with Sophia. And scary movie.
Okay.
What are we gonna read next week?
So what do we read next week, Daniel?
Hey, then we're reading Blue Beetle.
The first 5 issues?
First 6.
First 6? Okay,
Yeah.
because I downloaded the trade. I started like a little bit early, and I was like, holy shit, this is like 300 pages.
Yeah, no,
But
I think it's 12, but the first arc is 6.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the Blue Beetle movie.
Yes, sir.
Thanks everybody for listening.
Yeah.
Give us a nice little rating. 5 stars if you think.
Give us a thumbs up.
A thumbs up. Also great. Follow us on the platforms.
All the links in that bio.
If you want to recommend some stuff for us, if you
Shoot us an email.
if you enjoyed a different Eisner winner comic that we haven't read yet, shoot us an email at tradewaiterspod@gmail.com.
If there's other movies you think Nathan should watch, like things that people need to see.
The world is my oyster right now.
Yeah.
So
let him know.
Send a recommendation.
You said the email?
Yep. tradewaiterspod@gmail.com. And we appreciate y'all.
And we'll talk at you next week. Goodbye. Say bye.
Bye.